In our family, Somatex helped us the most when it solved our sleeping issue. We had great difficulty sleeping in our new housing. When Somatex cleared out the air, we started to sleep well again.
Dostal som sa k Ivanovi Rybianskému.
I met Ivan Rybiansky. He precisely pointed out the areas where there are unwanted effects, etc. He had never been at our place before in his life. That immediately was the deciding factor. And we told ourselves at that time, yes, we have to have Somatex at home. Then we moved and purchased Somatex. The changes were significant. Suddenly, we were able to sleep in the bedroom. Our night was much quieter, and we could function without any problems. In my psychological state, I called Mr. Ivan Rybiansky at night, who picked up, and I explained to him in a complete hysteria and with tears that I'm desperate. I don't know what to do, and that it hurts so much.
Somatex jsem pořídila kvůli dceři.
I got Somatex for my daughter because she fell ill of an oncological illness. I'd already had noise level problems in my flat. I couldn't find a place where I couldn't hear anything. He started to get better. I waited a while, and I saw that it really had a positive effect. The Somatex machine was there for us. They didn't allow me to turn it on in intensive care. I had it in my room. But we had it in our room in the First Children's University Clinic. We had it on Horáková, and we still have it now. I had problems with my back and with walking. Thanks to Somatex, we felt better at home. The tension between us vanished, as if these problems sort of disintegrated at our place. We didn't used to feel it, but I have to say that afterwards there was a change, such a bedroom and a smoothing of the area. There exists something here between heaven and earth, where we can have an effect and positively, energetically influence people. All of this art is gathered in Somatex. Over 12 years, I have worked, as people say, in healing. But I prefer to call it eliminating the causes of illnesses and diseases. Along the years, I have come across an issue with my clients, which is called geopathogenic zones, psychosomatic, cytogenic, and other similar types of zones. Naturally, I tried a number of products which were available and are available on the market. But I wasn't satisfied with them. My aim and effort was to create my own machine, which I present to you here. After months of testing, examinations, and development, I can finally present and offer you this machine, so that you can try it out. Because 95% of life energy people get from sleep. If you are sleeping or you are in an area affected by geopathogenic zones, this natural energy is blocked. That is why 70% of oncological illnesses are caused by the fact that people sleep in geopathogenic zones and doesn't have enough energy to regenerate the whole organism and life. Since Somatex started selling, 1,000 units have been sold to America, Canada, England, Italy, and of course the Czech Republic and Slovakia already. To the east, for example, Hungary, Bulgaria, basically right up to Russia. I haven't encountered a client who wasn't helped by Somatex or had any negative feelings from it. With all Somatex users, there are obvious improvements of health, but also from a medical perspective, which can have effects of up to curing some diseases. And all this thanks to Somatex and a healthy sleep.
Chorob přímo jenom a pouze díky Somatexu a zdravému spánku.
Takže tím, že geopathogenní zóna je vlastně obecná zátěž toho živého organismu.
A geopathogenic zone is a general encumbrance of the living organism, which is why we cannot say that a geopathogenic zone means a specific health problem. Generally, it is a weakening of the biological system. Therefore, we can say that all chronic conditions and serious diagnoses can be connected to the geopathogenic zone. I don't mean to say that they have to be connected with them. But if a person is really suffering from chronic difficulties, then they usually are problems or difficulties which are related to the hormone and immune systems. In this case, the effects of the geopathogenic zone should be taken into account. The theory says that, for example, cancer in 99% of cases is connected with the strain of the geopathogenic zone. The biggest problem is when a person sleeps in this zone. We can then estimate, according to the patient's medical history and according to the type of difficulties, if the zone is having an effect or not. Put simply, sleep in the zone means a bad quality sleep. There are two main symptoms of sleep in the zone. One type of difficulties can be, for example, the difficulty of going to sleep, awaking, night sweats can occur, restless sleep. Children have nightmares. Small children travel around the bed at night. They turn or they sort of escape to the corner of the bed from the geopathogenic zones. The second type of difficulties is that the person falls asleep all right and sleeps for many hours. The sleep therefore occurs technically without any complications. But the person still wakes up with a feeling of an unsatisfactory sleep, tiredness, and of aches and pains. If it is this case of a patient's medical history, then the effect of a geopathogenic zone should be considered. We can lessen and partly eliminate the effect of the geopathogenic zone. I deliberately say that we can sometimes fail to eliminate the geopathogenic zone completely, because we are talking here about physical effects. However, a significant dampening of the effects of the zone is possible. I've seen a number of these machines down my work years, but my best experience I have had was with the Somatex machine, which I came to know about a year ago. I was convinced by Somatex for one simple reason. I can measure the effect of the geopathogenic zone, or by any type of electro-smog, and additionally, I can measure the positive effects of the machine on the patients. Somatex was the only machine which, whilst measuring, showed me 100% successful effect. I use Somatex, but mainly as a prevention, because I myself don't have any problems with the geopathogenic zone. I have a very good feeling out of Somatex here in the clinic. A great number of people come here with different types of illnesses, and that certainly is a burden. one of the Somatex machines is specifically designated to areas where there are a great number of sick people moving about, where the job of the machine is to clean out the air, so to speak. I have to say that since I have a running Somatex machine here, I am less tired after work than I used to be. When Somatex is being applied for the first time, mainly the more sensitive individuals can be subject to unwanted reactions, which can, on a transition period, worsen their difficulties. These negative reactions often don't take more than 2 weeks, and they can be dampened by Somatex not being used for 24 hours a day. It is used, for example, 2, 5 or 10 hours, and its running time is gradually lengthened. It is very alike to the process of detoxicating an organism. The first detoxification impact can overstress the human organism. That means that the first reaction can be negative, even though the final effect is definitely positive. I recommend Somatex to patients who have a medical history that shows the effects of the geopathogenic zone and whom I measure these effects on. The effect on my patients was always positive, with perhaps one exception. Some showed it after a month, some after a week, but the positive effect always showed after some time.